Hello, this is Greg Awesome Green Greg's coming to you live with breaking news. The Doomsday submarine, the Belgrade, has been sighted in the Barents Sea, just as I forecast last night. No other YouTuber, no other military analyst, none of your talk show hosts, none of your all these high and mighty people, to best of my knowledge, have forecast this. But last night in my video, I said I would look for this thing in the Barents Sea, and that's very ominous because of the reasons I stated for it being in the Barents Sea was that was the best central location from which to launch Poseidon missiles or those UAV drone torpedoes with almost infinite range. This was the best place to launch them so you could reach key targets in both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans because you needed to thread that Barents Strait. And from the area of the Barents Sea, you could do that quite easily. You don't have to be right in the Barents Strait, but it certainly aids and helps to make that kind of maneuver, that kind of launch. And even if this is not a real mission, the fact that they would test it there, the fact that it is there at all is extremely ominous. And it just may be that Russia, maybe this isn't a training mission. Maybe this is real. If it's real, we are in deep trouble, my friends. We are in deep trouble. Let's hope and pray that's not what's cooking. But there is an advantage. There is, as I've talked about, and as Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, the late Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, explained on my channel here many months ago, that should Russia launch attack on us, in fact, the best way, the most sure way of winning and beating us is with a surprise attack. And if they do a first strike, they could take us out. And this submarine is a game changer that can make that surprise attack take out our almost entire naval facilities, naval bases, many of our ships, and totally cut us off from the world. That and an EMP, and we're done, guys. We're done with that. So let's hope that's not what's cooking. But Putin seems to be getting desperate. He's getting desperate. And when you corner a bear, it gets desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. That's what we got to worry about right now. They're not faring very well in Ukraine, apparently, even though they're trying to mobilize. They're mobilizing a lot of equipment in Ukraine. We're going to go over that in a minute. They're putting a lot of stuff in there, but they're having problems with their troops. The morale of the army is down because they're not paying them. They're not giving them good supplies. Kind of like the U.S. Army when we almost got sent into Iran during the Iranian hostage crisis. There were a few people did go, and it was a disaster. And I was not surprised because my unit was not prepared to go. We only had 40 functioning M16s. I saw a video from Lee Wilbarger showing the Russian soldiers just a few AKs amongst them. We weren't much better off during the Carter days. I'm going to tell you that right now because I was there and I know that for a fact. My arms room, I had 250 people in my unit. We were assigned 200 M16s and only 40 of them would function. I guarantee you that's the absolute truth. I was there. Holy smoke, guys. Our stuff was packed on the Pope Air Force Base tarmac, ready to go. We came that close to going over with that kind of crud. Yeah, great president, Jimmy Carter, almost sent us into that. So, my friends, Putin is desperate. Desperate people try desperate things. Let's hope and pray this is not his plan. But you better be prepping. You better be getting ready, guys. And you better be telling your friends and loved ones you love them. There's no loss in doing that. You ought to be doing that anyway. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones you love them. Be sure to tell people you cross in day-to-day life, you love them. Be friendly. Share a hug, a smile, a hello whenever you get a chance with whomever you can. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle, what color they are. We're all people, guys. We're all people, and that's what people need at the core. And it's the separation of that that's driven us against each other, and that's got us, hey, the powers that be who like to play us, that's how they do it. They divide and conquer. They pit us against each other. They love it that we're having all this internal division today. They love it that the world's countries are pitted against each other. And the evil ones, from way up, don't seem to care much about humanity, if you know what I mean. The spiritual powers from the side of darkness. They're not our friends, my friends. So we got a lot of people in here to think, hey, a lot of people saying, I love you. Well, thank you. Share that with each other. I appreciate that. And I got a funny little Gaelic saying to share with y'all shortly. But toward the end of the video, Cameron C says, we still have nuclear submarines that won't be affected. Cameron, if they do an EMP launch upon us, we will not use those submarines. Absolutely will not use them. That is the mistake so many people make, because those submarines to launch, and this I have to tell people this all the time, they cannot launch from those submarines if they don't have an EAM message and a validation of the EAM message. So if the communications are fried by a super EMP weapon, which is 4 times the field strength, the hardening requirements of most of the military hardened facilities from back when, you don't communicate. Also, there's the potential to take out a lot of our satellites. Yeah, we got an airplane that might fly around, but that airplane has only got, hey, it only gets up, 50,000 feet. Guys, I've flown balloons to 20 miles high, 100,000 feet, and we cover an area of maybe 400 miles radius. That's not enough to reach our forces all the way around the world. So there is a severe lack of potential lack of communications, especially if our systems are EMP'd by super EMP weapons, and if we have this is what I'm trying to drive home to people. I got to do a video real soon where some of your high-paid analyst says, there's not going to be an MP because we wouldn't be able to know who did it and we would tell it. No, we won't. You won't know who did it, and you're not going to be able to tell it, and I'll prove it to you. And I'll prove to you that these analysts aren't too smart. Show me an analyst. Name me an analyst that told you that this submarine would be in the Barents Sea. Show me one. Let me listen. Anybody got any idea? Anybody hear of another analyst who said that this submarine would be in the Barents Sea? Come on, I'm watching the chat room. Come on. Put the name up there, the program. Show me where, or any other YouTuber. We got a lot of smart YouTubers out there. They really are smart. But name one. Oh, but I got an itty bitty channel, and I've been bringing experts on this channel for years now. Some of the nation's finest, far ahead of channels that are bigger than 10 times my size, 20 times my size, like Ambassador Hank Cooper, who was the head of the Strategic Defense Initiative Organization for Ronald Reagan, a top Pentagon level official, an ambassador. Show me another YouTuber that's got ever brought anybody in that big. But my channel, he got 1,000 views, all of 1,000 views. Hey, Fazioli, how's the worms, Fazioli? Thank you for the super chat. He bought worms from me. I guess he got them. Very good. Talk to us, Fazioli. I say Fazioli. He's got it written like Fazoli. Excuse me. But I know his name's got that other vowel in it. Yeah, one of my dear friends I met from Fort Greely, Alaska, was named Grazioli, an Italian guy who happened to be retired Army, and he went in, well, not retired, he was in Army. He went in, he was in the National Alaskan State Trooper for a long time, and he was actually working the fire station in Fort Greely when I met him. And together we founded something called he and I and the guy named Ed Kiker started something called the North Star L5 Society back in 1981. This is a pin set that likeness of which I gave to Gerard K. O'Neill. And I got this in my video I'm about to post on my Galactic Graves. You see that pin set right there? That was me and Gerard K. O'Neill 42 years ago. At night, we're about to get some solar storms, my guys. That night we had the biggest solar storm, the best aurora I ever saw in my life. It was like God poured water paints in the sky and took his fingers and went, yeah. It's like, whoa, oh. I never even imagined, because I'd seen them veils for months and months and months and months. Suddenly, I'd never seen anything like that. That was amazing, guys. Now, hey, there is I believe his brother made me name Joe. He's got a brother, did have a brother that lived in Anchorage. But he has his only other kin in the whole United States. Was his brother named Joe? His brother's a preacher. And his brother was in Anchorage, Alaska. But they had lived and grew up in Pennsylvania. Anyway, so, Chuck Grazioli right now is in a retirement home in Missouri. So if you need an analyst, Greg, yeah, show me one. Name one. Out of all your armchair analysts, out of all the other people out there, all these military generals, all these people that come on all the time talking stuff, talking heads on any network, any channel, any YouTube channel. Show me one that said to look for this thing in the Barents Sea. But maybe that's why that satellite got changed. Maybe somebody heard me. Oh, Greg said this. Let's look in the Barents Sea. Whoa, there it is. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe that's it. But guys, this is very ominous, because from the Barents Sea, I will go to I got to close some. We're going to walk through some of our channels on here. I got 125 watching. We had a whole lot last night. We got up over. We had a record video last night. Acid says, Tony, you were a handsome guy, all short-haired and shaved. Kizzy Witty. Oh, that's funny. Kitsy Witty. That's funny. Well, you know, I had to grow into the full handsomeness I have today. Yeah, again, there I am. 42 years ago, as a young soldier at Fort Greely, Alaska, with Gerard K. O'Neill presenting to him a pin set, the likeness of which I still have. Actually, my friend Ed Kiker, who's a geologist, made that pin set. And I've had him on one of the videos on this channel. We were talking about Snowball Earth, how the world has been cooling since the dinosaurs died out, with a little blip 50 million years ago where things were a lot hotter than they have, a lot hotter than anything happening now, but still cooler than it was in the age of the dinosaurs. A lot of people don't get this stuff. How much wood could a woodchucker chuck if a woodchucker could chuck wood? I'm an analyst. Okay. Jason says, Cerverne Island is in the Barents Sea where Russian tested the Sarbama. Well, I think the Sarbama was actually tested further up above, where was the name of that island? Yeah, but it wasn't that far from it was pretty close to the Barents Sea. Canadian Prepper says we all better start digging because there's going to be a nuke war soon. I don't know. Yeah, he's really convinced of that. Joe Scozen, who is one of the guys who's been for a long time talking about good prepping areas and doing a lot of a detailed analysis of cities and places like that. He's convinced the nuke war is coming. Anyway, so really and truly, yeah, Nate at Canadian Prepper, he's pretty convinced of it. And you know, maybe Nate watches me. Actually, I know he watches because he saw me with, and actually commented and gave me shout outs when I had David Pine on here. Then he got David Pine on his channel. I had Dr. Peter Vincent Price several times on my channel. He brought Dr. Price on his channel. And we both had the guy running for governor of New Mexico, who was a missile silo commander. Oh, shit, I forget his name right now. Both of us had that guy on our channels. But hey, my channel is a tiny channel compared to his. I just bitty channel. He did get Joe Scozen. That was pretty cool. But I've had Ambassador Cooper, Hank Cooper. So my friends, yeah, I have a long history of being in the military, serving the military, and working missile defense. I've worked M1 tank. I've worked F-15 fighter aircraft, and I have been. And if you go back and see the oldest video of me on the internet, which was me on a YouTube channel, I think I've shown that before, talking about, you know, it was my opening plenary, the very opening of the 1993 International Space Development Conference, which I chaired. And people were a bunch of astronauts there, moonwalkers and other such sorts. So a lot of the old Germans were still alive and part of it. A lot of Apollo engineers were there. But my friends, I opened that conference up talking about the 1,000-mile war in Aleutian Islands. Why? Because it had pertinence to where I could see space going, and the fact that we were so reluctant at that point in time, and so respecting a naval button, we didn't realize what greatness we could accomplish. And I pointed out how when we fought off the World War II, how we fought off two sides of the world. Most of rural America weren't even electrified. The area I grew up in had no electricity. We had outdoor toilets. You went to the barn usually, or an outhouse, or out in the woods. You know, no running water. That's how we lived. We were backwards. I had a video I just did about India being a potential a superpower on my Galactic Graves channel. And somebody says, well, a lot of them people don't even have toilets. I go, really? You think that's a comparison? Well, when we were already on our way to the moon, building starting the Apollo program, I lived in a house with no toilet. So go flush that idea, pun intended. Anyway, so Dr. Ziegman, how you doing, buddy? So I'm praying, I agree. Yeah, do some praying, guys. We need to pray. So again, how I started this video, if you're just joining, is last night, I came out here and said, guys, if you want to find this submarine that disappeared, the Belgrade, which carries the Poseidon nuclear torpedo drone, which is like an underwater missile with practically infinite range. It's just got a nuclear engine that's capable of carrying the most explosive device ever devised by man, the Tsar bomber. Capable, one of these things could take out an entire coast of the United States, the Tsar bomber. My friends, this is not a pretty thing. And what I said is I would look for it in the Barents Sea. That's where they found it today. How about that? So come to my channel if you want to see real analysis. Come to my channel if you want, and I'm gonna spank some of these big major high-paid analysts. I'm sure they get paid 3 times more than me, who talk about such things as why don't worry about an EMP and why it won't happen. I'm gonna spank them hard, and I got the data, the history, the records, and some of my own personal activities to just wipe the floor with them. I may not have a PhD from a university, but I got one from Hard Knock School. So, oh yeah, they said it disappeared. Well, they found it today from a satellite photograph, exactly where I told you to look for it last night in the Barents Sea. Nobody else came up with that. Green Greg's ever seen that maybe Red October? Yeah. Hunt for Red October. Sure enough, hunt for Red October. Well, I told you where to look for Red October. I should be paid as a military analyst. Hey, Rand Corporation, you want to hire me? You got a bunch of idiots up there working for you. Anyway, yeah, I understand strategy. I understand tactics. I understand a lot of these things. And I've covered this in videos way back. In fact, I was doing videos on this Poseidon nuclear drone submarine torpedo almost 4 years ago. A lot of YouTubers have just discovered that. No, I was talking about it way back when, long before most of these other guys knew how to say the word Poseidon, probably. So, hey, Stan, how you doing? Drops, good to see you, Granny. We always traveled and used outhouses. There you go. Yeah, well, outhouses. That was, I had cousins that had outhouses still up to about the point I was graduating from high school in the late 70s, almost up to the 80s. Maybe they did have one to the 80s. So, we had, it was just the way it was. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. For Pete's sake, nothing wrong with it. In fact, some of us are going back to it as we get more and more homesteading. It's not a bad idea, especially if you use a compost and toilet. Jason said, I would like to see an unarmed test of the Poseidon torpedo. I know Russia has been working on all types of torpedoes for decades, supercavitation types of stuff. Yeah, and it's a supercavitation that gives it the enormous velocity it can move at. And it's supposed to be going operable at 1 kilometer in depth, which is beyond our range of interception and apparently beyond our range of detection. Although if it's making a lot of noise, sound travels a long way in the ocean, but it may be hard to know exactly where it's at from that depth. Says the Trade Shack, you can't beat the experience, does not matter how many degrees. That's right. You got that right. So my friends, prep, get ready. Go buy that extra can of soup when you go to the store, this week. Buy that and mainly buy the, you don't know what's going to last, buy the dried beans and rice. I need to do a video on long-term prepping. There's a lot of things that are emphasized that I think are really wrong by a lot of channels. I've seen one recently that got it right, and I probably ought to drill on that because that's the way I actually go about it. So I'll have to talk about that soon, very soon. It was a Scandinavian union that Norway didn't join. How about that? Anyway, my friends, but just remember, we got the special from Gregs.com, 20% off, 3-month supply. This stuff will last you 25 years. Long term, that's what matters, guys. So 25 years, and it's a wide variety of food in that. But, when you're starving, most people in the world eat the same thing every day, and they have all their lives. Some people go, oh, hey, you have boredom. When you're hungry, and that's all what you're used to, you're going to do it. Absolutely. That's how most people in this world survive. They don't have the varieties and choices we have. They're happy just to have rice. So if all you got is beans and rice, you got something. But beans and rice aren't as portable as that stuff. So check that out. Prepwithgreg.com. Prepwithgreg.com. 20% off a long time storage. But you better go in there and look for the iodine pills. Last time I was in there just a couple of days ago, you could still buy potassium iodine. And most other places are sold out. Yes, the Canadian prepper, he can't even get it. But prepwithgreg.com, my Patriot Supply had them last time I looked. And that's probably going to be a short-lived thing. Pectin is also good. Somehow pectin helps your digestive tract not absorb radiation. I don't know what the mechanism is that works by, but the Russians used it back in for the people in Ukraine and Russia back during the Chernobyl accident. Pectin, same stuff that you put and use in your cannon, ladies. If you got extra pectin, you're ahead of the game. Pectin, potassium iodine, and check out my videos on, and I got a whole playlist on nuclear survival, guys. And that playlist is not watched that much. It needs a lot more eyes on that playlist. So look at those videos and share them with your friends and family. It might save their lives, especially the videos where we're talking about what to do in the first 24 hours, the second 24 hours with Stacy Zavicki. So let's see, 85 out of 171. Oh, we got 164 here now, only 87 thumbs up. Come on, guys. The reason my channel is so small is I get stepped on by the algorithms or by the network real hard. I just had Wise Owl, one of my right-hand people in setting up our tribe network. She actually is the one who organized the website, spent a lot of her personal money. She is one of my most faithful followers. She was unsubscribed for me. Remember Cody Prock, who used to come in here all the time, young man who started raising his all worms. He told me he got unsubscribed 3 times. And he used to be in every single live session I did. So I like your recent permaculture video. Well, thank you, AG. I will do more stuff like that coming up. And I did a little video today on worms. I just hadn't had a chance to post it. I went out and bought a fishing worm package from a little can from the hardware store up here above me. And I thought, it's time I finally look and see what's in these things that the other guys are selling. I opened it up. I found 2 live worms in it. I paid $5 some change. It was $4.95 plus tax. And it said 30 worms on the surface, 30 fat red worms. I found 1 worm. He was about that long. He was not fat. There was 1 other worm who was real skinny, almost dead, and the remnants of a dead worm, and nothing else. Nothing else. Maybe there'd been 3 worms in that package. I don't know what it was. Guys, if you took 1,000 adult worms, which is almost a pound, and you divided it by 30, you get 33.3333. This guy who owned the store paid $2.60 a can for me. What he got was junk. Man, if you wanted to start a prepper business and you're just selling fishing worms, I mean, gardening will be the biggest market, but people are going to be hungry and wanting to fish too, So if you could sell 30 worms, decent worms, now not the crap. If you buy worms from me, be honorable. Don't turn around and try to jip people. Be honorable. If you want to associate with me, be honorable. Give the customer what they're looking for, guys. And then ask Faziel. He bought worms from me. He knows. I deliver what I promise. But guys, and Faziel, if you disagree, you say so. But he must agree because he gave me a super chat tonight, and I thank you for that. I'm looking at the chat room over here. 30 worms. If you sold those for $2.50 a can, and say, we'll discard that other 3.333 so you can cover the cost of the little cups. That's $75 a pound sold. I sell my worms shipped to you and delivered for $54 a pound for 1 pound. If you buy several pounds, that price goes down. I used to have a woman in Oregon, lived in an apartment, mind you. She lived in an apartment, and she bought worms from me every swinging week, and she resold them as fishing worms, just like that. She put little ads out in the neighborhood, and the people that owned the apartment at the time they had no problem with her doing that. She kept it clean. She had a bedroom that she had nothing but worms in, and she sold worms. That's how she was making most of her money, was selling worms that she bought from me. And she used to be real happy and call me and talk to me all the time. Lost the phone I had back then. I lost her number, but she got run out of the apartment, sold to somebody else. Somebody else bought the apartment. They didn't like what she was doing. They kicked her out. Bless her soul. So she went into other things down the road. Greg's worms are alive even after partying at the post office all weekend. Oh yeah, I need to email somebody. Somebody else has got their worms waiting on them in the post office. I got some other email. So yeah, they're pretty resilient. And I know how to pack them. They survive better than most of the other people that pack and ship worms. Not only am I the top military analyst in the nation, I'm also the best person at shipping worms. Don't that go together? Hey, I got the remnants of the DCX rocket sitting next to my log barn. Don't that go together? It sounds pretty natural to me. So muzzle loaders and rockets. Oh yeah, I used to build a lot of muzzle loaders. I love those things. The early bird gets the worm, but also the early worm gets ate by the bird. Pet Prep Radio Show. Hey, Pet Prep Radio Show. Good to see you. You got a YouTube channel. That sounds like a good YouTube channel name. You got a Pet Prep. Tell us about Worms Rock. Amen. Worms Rock. They do. I dig my worms. What can I say, right? I'm going to worm my way to the top. As everybody knows, I proudly promote global worming. Anyway, Granny, hey, Timber 3, hey, Timber 23. I support what you do, Greg, and thank you for all the knowledge I've learned from your channel. God bless. Well, thank you. If you're just joining, what I said at the beginning of this video was that last night, I said, if you want to find this Belgrade submarine, look in the Barents Sea. Nobody else said that. Nowhere. Nobody. Prove me wrong. Did anybody hear anybody say that? There was no other YouTube channel. None of your experts you get on all these TV stations, the generals, the admirals, the talking heads, the military analysts, people who work for Rand Corporation. None of them. To my knowledge, not one. If y'all know of anybody, let me know. I don't know who this person is. Green Graves, if you had to, could you build a boom rocket? A boom rocket? Hey, I made some rockets go boom. But I built you mean a moon rocket? I'm working on a moon rocket. That's what I did in my day job. And I built my own rocket motors too. What other YouTuber has a rocket motor next to his desk? Would you believe after 9/11, I walked into an airport with this on my shoulder, just like this, and got away. So I walked in like I knew what I was doing, right in the door. Of course, I didn't go through the security lines, but we had a conference there. But people looked at me and they knew what I had. Holy smoke, you did that? Yeah. So what? Anyway. Thank you, Grickets. The whole world hates America, unfortunately, and that's a sad state. But they also rely on us. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do in this country. A lot of work to do, my friends. So, this is why I chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. I've chaired an international space development conference. I have been active since I was a teenager. I was 21 years old right here in this photograph, 42 years ago, when I met Gerard. Well, I guess I was actually, yeah, when I met Gerard K. O'Neill. I got my fingernails. Just was digging in something. Give him that pin set. One of these. My chapter of the L5 Society that I started back in 1981 at Fort Grady, Alaska. And anyway, so let's see what else happened here, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Timmer. 23. Anyway, guys, so I'm going to go through some, we're going to go look at some websites here and kind of go through some of these things, guys, as I would if I could afford, but kind of broke. What was that, Granny? Anyway, Granny's bought worms from me. Baz bought worms from me. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Worms are my service animals. Amen there. Yeah, Daniel gave me a good shout out the other day as being one of his campaign advisors. He's running there in Thousands Oak on the city council again. So everybody check him out. And you just join us there, Daniel. What I was saying is last night I called it. And I haven't heard of anybody else. Now, he's widely listened. He listens to a lot of stuff. So maybe in case I missed it. Greg, is America Babylon? Well, that's a good question. Some people think that we are the Babylon of Revelations. I have seen a preacher make the case that that wasn't true. And he's been a lot of detail, so he could be right. But, oh, Steffords, how you doing, Steffords, Jay? Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Ace Lee, how was the Dragon? Yeah, the Dragon launch was pretty good. It's interesting. Here we are we're on the verge of, possibly on the verge of nuclear war with Russia. At the same time, we just launched for the first time in 20 years, a Russian from America to the International Space Station. And the Russian Space Agency, Roscosmos, and I've been to Roscosmos in Moscow, I've been to their headquarters. They decided that they want to try to renew their contract to be part of the International Space Station, to continue their participation beyond the year 2024 when it expired. If you remember, the previous head of the Roscosmos was a political appointee directly of Putin, who was really more of a missile man, Roscosm, and he wanted to pull out. And of course, he threw everything. He's now supposedly the governor of all these districts that Putin's claiming in Ukraine, or administrator of all the new so-called Russian acquisitions in Ukraine. So, you know, he was very much a political, but when you get to the engineers, when you get down to the engineers don't have no beef with each other. I mean, you know, I got more in common with the guys over there working for Roscosmos than I do a lot of other people around anywhere. We work toward a lot of the same goals. I mean, I really enjoyed going to their corporation called Inky, the organization that actually landed a probe on Venus. And, you know, I actually ran around town with some of these guys. I mean, I was riding in a van through Moscow with one of the guys who was a principal engineer on that project way back when. And we were just sitting back chatting with each other at quite a length. And so that was quite a thrill for me. So that was back in 2010. I'm planning to buy worms from you, but we're in Northeast Ohio and it's going to freeze soon. Nowhere to keep them at ATM where they look at. Okay, check out my video, how to keep worms warm in the winter. I've sold worms to Alaska. So I got a video out there, how to keep worms warm in the winter. There's people that raise worms in Canada. They use in-ground beds principally, but some people put them in greenhouses, some put them in their basement, some put them, there's different ways to do it. Some put them in buildings and rooms and stuff like that. I've had a lady, the first lady that worked for me out here, she used to keep worms in kitty litter boxes in the closets of her bedrooms. The way she had the kitty litter boxes, they didn't get away, and they survived. And I did a video on how to make worm beds from kitty litter boxes because she inspired me that. And kitty litter boxes are free if you find them on the side of the road. A lot of nasty people just throw this stuff out, you know. So I just grabbed one. In fact, the one that I made that video at, that was one I picked up off the side of the road. It cost me goose eggs, nothing. Anyway, we're in a manufactured home community. That's a real challenge to the rules here. Oh, okay. Well, hey, then, Prep. Uh, well, you can keep, well, give them your bedroom, put them under the trailer. Well, it's not a trailer, it's a manufactured home. I know what you're talking about. I've seen manufactured homes with basements. In fact, my friend Ed Kiker used to have a big log cabin and he sold it for a manufactured home. I did not understand why he did that. I thought, Ed, have you lost your mind? You had a beautiful log cabin. You sold that and bought a manufactured home, but it didn't have a basement. Yes, most everything in Alaska did. Hey guys, knock that chat room out. Ban that person from my channel. We don't need stuff like that coming in here. All right, good. Thank you there. Who did that? Hey, G, appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, they need to be gone. We don't tolerate that. We are a family channel, guys. We are a family channel. Keep your content clean. We don't want none of that kind of stuff. That's not permitted in our channel, in our chat. So, hey, Victor Campbell. Maybe we could put them under the home. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we got an Auburn fan here, Eddie Collins. Yeah, no kidding. There are nasty folks. Nasty folks. How's the Snowflake, Arizona site for Freedom Tribes? Well, that'll be good for Freedom Tribe. I need to put a well in there, but I've kind of backed up, and I'm trying to double down to get this worm farm dialed in here and get my mushroom operation and microgreens going a little better before I branch out to there. And a lot of the money I was going to put out there, I've been using some of it to pay down credit debt and some of it to try to put in out here. So it may be a little bit before I get out there. So it's not going as fast as I'd hoped. But it would be a good location for Survival Tribe, and they've been getting a lot of rainwater. If you just collected rainwater, you could probably do quite well. 40 acres, you can put quite a rainwater collection facility out there if you had to. And there's a wash at the western side of my property, and I imagine when it's dry, if you dig down in that sand, you're going to hit water probably. I had a large rat and mice production business. I used litter pans in a rack 4 to 5 high. Wow. Gator, I imagine producing rats is not a hard thing to do. Holding rat populations down to me is a big challenge. Oh my gosh, Gator. What got you into raising rats and mice? Was it for medical, for pets? Holy walking smoke-a-moly. Oh, yeah. The devil has no outer. Yeah, well, he seems to be pretty loose these days, and I think that's a whole lot what's wrong with this world. Yeah, we're getting a new coach. Will be good next year. Okay. No power over us. There you go. People permit it. See, that's why people that are drug abusers or sick or have issues or with their health and their mental states, that's why they seem to have more problems with this stuff, guys. The evil preys upon them. And these people need our help. They need to be encouraged and built up. If people insulting other people, you're tearing people down and you're making those people more susceptible to get further torn down by dark spirits. So let's keep an eye on it, guys. Mind how you treat other people. That's why the good book says, judge not that ye not be judged. One of the many reasons for that. Not to mention that we human beings tend to make a lot of mistakes. So leave that to God. Of course, there are things that we have to do, just to have a civil society. Let's see here. Country Gal, good night, all heading for bed. Much love to all. Good to see you here. Thank you that you come in. True Tech Man. Okay, be careful what you're saying there. I mean, that's not that bad, but we do keep a family channel here. What's are you supposed to mean? Yeah. You don't have to be banned, but those comments are kind of border. We try to keep it real clean here, guys. Now, I know some channels allow more things to be said than I do, but, this is not a religious channel, but we want to be a family-friendly channel. Ray Reeves, how you doing? Marianne Reeves, how you doing? So, no flags, just, yeah, there we go. He's roaring around in a rage. Is that what that is? Oh, the devil. I got you. Yeah, he is. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to share some websites. Got 169 in. We're doing pretty good to be so late. Not as good as we did last night. But last night, I told everybody where to look for the Belgrade submarine. And there it is. Isn't that something? Wow. So let's go look. God is always here with us, whether you believe him or not. Yeah, there you go, Ace. Now, no more than 2 emojis, please. Okay. Yeah, I think there's some algorithm problem with that, maybe. So, okay, guys, let's do some share screens. Ding, 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 ding. Let's find, give me a second. You know, that's what I always say about doing share screens. Dun, 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 dun. And there it is. There it is, as I predicted. Well, that was okay. An older picture, but anyway, all right, there we go. Well, they said it was an Arctic Ocean, but this picture isn't the Barents Sea. All right, guys. Poland. Guys, Poland is wanting nukes. Poland is vehemently anti-Russian. What do we think, guys? What do we think? They shouldn't have control of them because they'd probably launch them in a hurry. We need calm heads in charge of devices like that. I'm not sure we have calm heads on all sides. You know, hear about North Korea? Oh my gosh. Yeah, as we know, he's moving his nuclear weapons units. He's got stuff on the move, which is a sign that submarine being on the move is a sign to worry about. Oh, I don't blame Poland. Yeah, I'm with you there, Jason. Those guys, the people that just lived under the Russians are the ones that are most against them. You look at the folks in the Baltic states, you look at Poland, any of those republics that was right directly under Russian control, they don't know part of it. They are dead set against it. Poland has a good read. Yeah, Matterman, I agree. I've got a friend who's Estonian. Oh my gosh, he hates Russians. Now, I understand why. The Russians were very opportunistic, let's say. Let's be charitable here. But anyway, so, you know, I mentioned this train last night. All right, guys, here we are. Putin to change the status of Ukraine special operation to counter terrorism. Okay, guys, this is a very interesting headline. The Russian president will address the nation after signing formal annexation on Wednesday. That was today. So apparently he's going to, according to this, change the operation to counter terrorism. Everybody was expecting a full declaration of war. But so is he backing out, or is this the same kind of thing he did just before they invaded? Just before they invaded, you got to remember the Russians says, okay, game over, exercise over. Our troops are going to go home. We're heading back. And a lot of the articles and a lot of writers fell for it. They said, yeah, they're going back. Don't worry about it. The Russians are leaving. And then they invaded. Because, you know, you don't tell people what you're going to do. If you're going to invade, the last thing you want is for people to think you're going to invade. You want them to think you're going away, and then you go smack. So, you know, that's Sun Tzu, guys. Timmerman says, come on, people. No one has $1 at least out of 160 people. Well, thank you. These get millions on other channels. They do. Thank you there, Timmerman. I appreciate it. Why did that not go in? What happened there? Oh, I wanted to let that. His comments almost hidden. What happened there, guys? Go to channel, pin message. No, let's see. We want to. It's like faded out. I was trying to show it. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Timmerman, I appreciate it, Timmerman. I don't know. We need to go. Yeah, if you go on to almost a lot of the other channels, they rain super chats on them, guys. It just rains super chats. You remember these super chats live sessions? I spent a couple of hours in here. We did get some. Yeah, don't say the S word, but anyway, guys, let's see here. But he says, well, if the world's erupting, you don't need your money, right? Well, let's hope it don't erupt. We're still hoping and praying these things don't come to pass, guys. We're hoping and praying. But we got to prep. It's like buying insurance, guys, because you never know when you might have a car accident or something like that, right? And it happens in the blink of an eye when you least expect it. So, guys, I'm not saying that the world is going to go up in smoke, but the chances are higher now than they've ever been. Well, Green Regs at Drops Family Garden and Jason and everyone. Hey, Pink Sheep, how you doing? All right. Hey, Scott Ziegler. Conspiratary. All right, what did Pet Prep Radio Show just say? Did I miss it? Let's see if I find it. I'd scroll back up and see what they said. He says the Germans and Russians almost wiped out the pure Polish Arabian horses in World War II. Oh my gosh. Wow. Timmer says, I'm disabled, buddy. I actually have $50 in my account. Wow. Well, thank you. So he shared. He's trying to help, guys. Appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, Timmer. Timmer 23. That's what you pronounce, or Timmer 23. Yeah, Cha-Cha, give him a big heart. Thank you. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. All right, guys. So this could be, maybe Putin is trying to recalibrate because maybe he's realizing all his troops aren't going to accomplish what he hoped, and he's trying to dial it down to a new expectation. But you got to understand, one, they're shipping a lot of equipment in there. Hundreds and hundreds of tanks and other things are heading in there right now. GG, that sub is just insurance, like you said. Yeah, could be. Probably want to use nukes in Ukraine. Well, if they're going to use them anywhere, that would be the first guess. We'll talk about that more in just a minute, guys. I'm going to have to close some of these things out here just to be able to go forward and share some other stuff. Let's go back to some of these and just, I'm going to leave that one open. Close that one. This special counterterrorism. That sounds like, we do counterterrorism here, and it doesn't necessarily include using troops, that's almost a police action. So what's he saying? Of course, this could, like I said, could be one of those faint moves that you would pull just before you do the full invasion. I don't know, guys, because there's so much propaganda out there. It's hard to know what's what these days. Ultimate Court, your best luck, Greg. I can't handle any more news now. I'm going to spend some time with my friends. Well, that's good, Ultimate Court. Actually, I've got some better news coming up here in a minute. So after cutting domestic proposal, now here we're getting into politics here, guys. This ain't all that good either. So as you know, Biden this opens up a whole lot of topics. He is cutting domestic oil production. He is denying leases to drillers that normally would give them, just because they're worried about CO2, supposedly, theoretically. But yet he is selling off our national reserves currently to keep gas prices down until the midterm elections. And he's been trying to beg the Saudis to sell more. Drain, baby, drain. Biden administration will deliver another 10 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And he's been trying to get OPEC to produce more. Well, OPEC's decided, no, we're not going to produce more. We're going to do less. So that's kind of a slap at Biden. But guys, our Strategic Petroleum Reserve is intended in case we need it for war. And he's been selling it down, just like we've been selling tons and tons of our weapons to Ukraine, just at the point we may be having to face Russia or especially China down the road. China's watching us lose our weapons. They're watching us sell off our strategic petroleum reserve. So they may be more and more tempted to move on Taiwan. And I'm going to have to hold stuff on China soon. So guys, yeah, carbon dioxide. What did I say? Hey, Mustang Sally, thank you. How are you doing? So glad to see you stream for us in Somax. Love your show. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you here, Mustang Sally. That's a great super chat. Appreciate that. That's what makes it worth doing these things, guys. Because when you do a live stream, you don't get the advertising revenue. And you get so many people to watch in the course of a live stream, you miss a lot of that. So the super chats is what makes up for that. Anyway, Broken Fish, how you doing? You're late. Well, you're here. So guys, let's move on here. We're sending weapons. We're sending so much other stuff over. It's not funny. They're trying to want me to sign into all this. So, yes, on that bang. So they're talking about a potential false flag operation to Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, guys. Is that for real, or is this propaganda? Why would Russia do that? I mean, that could affect them too, but it's possible. But it seems to be a stretch to me. I mean, if Russia was going to nuke, why would they use a failed power plant to do it? Why would they intentionally fail a power plant to do it? That's a pretty bad thing to do. The Saudis and OPEC said no to Biden today. They did. That they did. So yeah, Biden's not getting his way. Regime change. So some people are claiming there is an opposition group in Russia. The main opposition candidate is in jail for various dubious reasons, mainly because he was opposing. He's got like a 9 years left on his sentence, mainly because he was opposing Putin. So over there, if you think that we have problems with elections here or there, if they don't like it, they just throw you in prison or throw you in jail or poison you. Not exactly a lovely political system, but he's got the guy in prison has got a following. I'm not going to scroll down the article, and they are really pushing now for some regime change. I think that they have fat chance. I mean, of that because Putin's got a lot of power. But of course, if they topple and fail in Ukraine, he's probably finished at that point. He's probably finished and will probably cost him his life. I've told you that about these autocratic leaders. When they fall out of power, they usually lose their head. I paid over $7 in California for gas. Wow. Minimum gross 40 probably happened right around elections. Yeah, Biden's been trying to sell off the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and other things to keep the price of gas down while he's denying drilling leases. Wow, because they just want to escape through the election, and he don't care past that probably. Wow, guys, because they think 2 more years, all them in charge, who knows what they'll be able to pull off. All right, you might know North Korea launched missiles. They launched one across Japan, and they launched 2 more. And now we're pulling our aircraft carrier strike group in a little closer. So we got a lot of tension over here in the Korean Peninsula, my friends. We had somebody leaving because we're talking so much stressful stuff here. All right, here's the good news. I said I was going to bring some good news. Iran may not be the threat that we had feared it might be because of the internal strife in Iran. Everybody is unhappy over the poor little Kurdish girl that was basically offed because she didn't wear her hijab correctly. The protests are continuing, and people are getting braver in their protest over there. They are realizing, hey, we don't have to fear the government. There's so many of us. Guys, I always told you, there's more of us than there is of them. That's all we have to fear. We got to break that psychology of fear, and we can win. The people in Iran are figuring that out. So Iran may change and become a very positive country if they get rid of the regime over it. If they can elect themselves a president. If our CIA don't go over and depose them, like they did last time they elected a Democratic president, that's why they hated us for so long. That was the problem. We took an elected president, our CIA, got rid of him, and put a dictator, a tyrant, the Shah of Iran, over the people. So that was a horrible thing to do. All right. John the Dancing Gypsy says, I'm a dancing machine. Watch me get down. All right. Good for you. So that's something positive right there. We must pray for Kaylee, Randy, and everyone else. So yeah, that's right, Arnold. Thank you for that. We'll do that tonight. I like to do that on Wednesday nights if I'm not just totally wiped out, tired. We're going to get to these websites real fast tonight here. Last 12,000 years show more complex climate history than previously thought. Again, I'm not going to scroll in this article. This is in Phys.org. What they said in this article was, at one time, some people thought that, it was real warm initially at the beginning of the Holocene, which this article admits is part of our glacial interlude, the interglacial that we're in for the overall phase of glaciation the Earth is in right now. We are in an interglacial, which is running about 12,000 years, which is pretty close to the maximum of an interglacial. for those that didn't know. We are technically still in an ice age. We're ice age. We're in the interlude, kind of like the intermission, like when you get up and get popcorn in the theater. And if you think about it, it's about what it is, because you get 100,000 years of ice and 12,000 years of warm, and we're getting on the end of that period. Anyone here want to call Putin? You want to call him on the phone? You got his phone number, Anton? Oh, Anton's got a Ukraine somewhere. You got Putin's phone number? Yeah. The terrain and floor around me is better for donkeys than horses. Oh, well, donkeys are pretty amazing animals. They're the one animal that can kick in any direction. And oh yeah, I know what you mean, because your terrain is pretty vertical. But they can get rid of those coyotes. We're still in a mini ice age. I'll try. Hey, Drops, how you doing? So, Madam and Hey Dolls, I've got most of them canned. All right, good canning going on there. So what they were saying in this article was, it all varies all over the world. The ocean might be warm or cold, and the land will be the opposite in different areas of the world. So the whole world gets warmer, the whole world's getting cooler. It varies all over the place, and that's the way it's been for the last 12,000 years. And that's the way it is right now. Biden went to Florida and says, no, nobody can deny global warming. Now we've had Hurricane Ivan. What? We've had hurricanes for ages. And in fact, we don't have as many hurricanes as we used to have. So, it's just every time a tornado comes through, they're going to blame it on global warming. Every time you get any little disturbance, they'll blame it on that. Anything that kind of goes the other way, they won't talk about, because there's a vector, arrow of pushing in this conversation. So it seems. What do you think? So I didn't know Anton was in the house, always lurking around. So talk to us, Anton. What's cooking, Anton? What's on your mind? You got Putin's phone number? Let's talk about it. All right. Pet Prepper Show. I don't think you can plow with donkeys. Well, you breed a donkey to a horse and you get a mule. Now you can plow with a mule. But most people use a larger version. They call it a jack. They have a jack and a jenny. Donkeys can thrive on what would starve a horse. That's true, Vicky. That's true, but you don't live in the desert either, but you do have that terrain. All right, guys, the sun is cooking. And there's a big chance for a major solar flare. I don't know what the aurora is looking like at the moment. Fairly strong according to this chart. I'm not hit the update button on it for a little bit. We got a big sunspot here, 3112. And it's still got a ways to go to be dead center on us, and they're already worried about it. Like I said, when I saw this coming around the limb, I talked about it last night. I said, that sunspot group might flare up just like the Carrington event group. Because they can grow, guys. They can grow, and this thing's still got a ways to go to get around, and it'll still be a threat when it's over here. So we're going to be looking at the sunspot group for a few days. Is it going to grow or is it going to shrink? Let's hope and pray this thing shrinks. So, guys, oh snap, a magnetic filament erupts. Yeah, see it right there? That's a magnetic filament erupting or snapping. I guess I only said, oh snap. Okay, that's funny. So Behemoth Sunspot AR3112 is poised to explode. NOAA, National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration forecasters estimate a 65% chance of M flares and a 30% chance of X flares today. Guys, 30% is huge for an chance for an X flare. The upper end X flares can be very dangerous. Carrington event. X flare range is pretty broad though, guys. Pretty broad. It doesn't mean the X flare is going to get us. The lower end, it means you get a lot of oohs and ahs like that. But at the high end, it means, we lost our power. Your house might burn down. I don't know, guys. So let's look here at Wendy, guys. Probably should hit the update button on this because I loaded this over an hour ago. And we've been going for a little over an hour here. Y'all, the sand ran out of the hourglass. Turn it over. I hope we shouldn't be going time that runs out again. Hair is sexy on men, Matterman said. Well, I suppose that's some kind of a compliment. I'll just say thank you for that. What did Matterman say that prompted that? I just shaved my ears this month. Oh, it's just complimenting you. No wonder Cha-Cha's laughing. Just shaved my ears. There we go. Hey, I resemble that remark. Days of our lives. Okay, so we're getting into the radio, shut down radio traffic in Florida a couple of days ago. Yeah, well, they can get worse than that, guys. So right now the temperatures are pretty mild. Well, we got 60s on the west coast here, 77 in Las Vegas. Phoenix is warmer than everybody as usual, 82. But look, most of the United States is in the 50s. 40s up here in a few places north of Fargo. Watch the movie Fargo. All right, we got to check out. Look here, 48 in Utica, New York. So it's probably cool. What's it getting down to tonight in Maine? 52 in Bangor, which is on the coast. Holton is 44. 43 up here. Caribou. Y'all got any caribou? New days. Y'all got any caribou? I don't even know of caribou living in Alaska. Well, you got moose, and you got reindeer in Siberia. Those are really the same thing as a caribou. Pretty darn close. Monticello. All right, it's in the 40s. She told me it got down to 27 the other night. Right up here. She's over here right next to New Brunswick. I think it's 2 miles from her. She's 2 miles from the border. Pretty close. All right, let's check out Arnold Schmidt's territory up here in Alberta. You're in western Alberta, right? High level 39, Peace River 43, Grand Prairie 44, Slave Lake 43, Edmonton 46. Dawson City is show up. Peace River, Triton Valley, Red Deer. I've never been to Edmonton, but I've been in Alberta. I believe Dawson, there's Dawson Creek up there. It's not Dawson City. Now, the Alaska Highway comes out up here, crosses through the Yukon, comes down and clips through northwest British Columbia, goes into Alberta, comes down, comes back around, and ends in Dawson City. But then I took a road that took me down the Fraser River Canyon into Vancouver. And the Fraser River Canyon looked like the Swiss Alps. It was beautiful. I understand they had some real bad weather there recently, really bad. But then I drove down the left coast through West Wokistan. Back then they had grapefruits and such in the Great Valley here, Sacramento Valley. And I got down here and turned right, went through Mojave Desert, came through right here, went through I-40, crossed over, come down to I-20, and went to Alabama. No, wait a minute, I went south in Arizona. Yeah, so I got here to Mojave Desert, turned left, drove till I saw a big crack in the ground, turned right, got to the cactus, was standing up with arms in the air, turned left, and drove back to Sweet Home, Alabama. And I didn't take the wrong turn in Albuquerque. How about that? As Bugs Bunny was so off to do. Anybody remember that? All right, we got anybody from England in here? We got anybody from Australia, New Zealand? We got Amanda comes in there sometimes. She's from Australia. It is springtime in Australia, beginnings of spring. 66 in Melbourne. 79, because you know Australia goes from darn near Antarctica to the tropics. Darwin's 86, 97 up here. Cape York, I believe is the name of that. Queensland, New South Wales, and we got New Zealand way down here. I built a community in my town. Well, good, Granny. Everybody needs to go to, Wazar hasn't joined us tonight, has she? Everybody needs to go to Survival Tribe Network and log into that, guys, and build your, starting your tribes. Wow. London is 46. That's like being in Maine. It's actually warmer up here. Glasgow's 52. Scotland's in the 50s. But England is in the 40s. Look at that, guys. It's warmer up north in England right now. 50s here in Ireland. France has got a lot of 40s. Ooh. What's going on in Ukraine? Mainly 50s. Moscow is 46. All right, guys, enough of that. Stop the share. Halo. Actually, what I want to do is in a couple of these channels here, make myself some room because I want to get rid of some memory. I come in here and open up Google Earth. I free up some memory to do that. I still want to go to Google Earth. Now we know the Belgorod's at least in the Arctic Ocean, guys. If it's not in the Barents Sea, it's been there and got a good chance of going back. That's what I'd worry about. Google Earth. Oh, we got another thing to delete, folks. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I've already hit thank you there. Appreciate that. Thank you, Cha Cha and Arnold. I've got rid of those chat bots. Good grief. Keep Moscow warm, okay. They keep our worms warm. All right, hang on. We're gonna have a look see at Google Earth. Just a moment. Then we're going to end this video. I've got a video I'll be posting probably tomorrow, maybe in the middle of the day, about these worms I bought in a cup, baked cup, and nothing in it. Oh my gosh, those guys just keep coming. Vicky, it's not getting all that gets to you, it's getting decrepit. Oh, and having the decrepit around. Decrepit, okay. And the decreps can hit at any age. Oh, that's true too. Yeah, you're right. Some are born that way. Oh my gosh, these stinking channels. Thank you, Old as Dirt. Hey, Old as Dirt, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you here, doing the good work of getting rid of some of these fools that want to come in here. Put out foolish stuff. All right, guys, we're going to go screen share again. We're going to go to Earth, Google Earth. All right, what we know Belgorod's in the Arctic Ocean somewhere. We know it's been in the Barents Sea. I said this is where we need to look for it, in the Barents Sea. If that would be the most probable location for it to be, if they really plan to launch in both the Atlantic and Pacific theaters. That submarine with 6 Sarbamas could just about take us out by launching in this area, the best area for it. However, the guidance systems on those may be good enough to navigate the Barents Strait anyway. If they can go around the world and pick a city, it probably can. Still, just because it's almost equal distance from anywhere. I expect them to be somewhere in the vicinity of the Barents Sea. That would be my expectation, guys. Here's Wrangel Island. You know, there were mastodons on Wrangel Island up until about 400 years ago. Mastodons survived. The last place they survived was on Wrangel Island, but they were a miniature version, like a lot of animals are that live on islands that become dwarf. But mastodons survived on Wrangel Island until 400 years ago. Or might have been mammoths. It might have been woolly mammoths. It was one of the two. Mastodons or woolly mammoths. I'm thinking about. Of course, now the CIA wants to resurrect the woolly mammoth. Sounds like a real job for the CIA. Why in the world do they want to do that? And then they ever watch Jurassic Park? Holy smoke, guys. Did I tell you that I think we're living in a science fiction day, guys? What do you think? But anyway, so the whole point of it was, if you and I mentioned this in the video last night, I don't want to repeat it entirely, guys. But from this area, you're about equidistant to targets. Over here, you'd want to target this area to take out the NATO coastal cities. You can put a submarine, take out the eastern seaboard, take out the Gulf. And if you fire from over here, you can come around, take out the west coast, Hawaii, and our bases around here around Japan. 6 Sarbamas would just about do us in. That combined with EMP, we would be pretty much prone. Dr. Peter Vincent Price suggested they would do a first strike, maybe on our nuclear facilities, our nuclear strategic forces, our missiles, our SAC bases, Strategic Air Command bases. That's what SAC stands for, Minot Air Force Base, which also has missiles, guys. See, Don Berg says, I'm looking up at the window. Alaska, see your hand in the sky. Oh, yeah. Well, I saw that when I was in Alaska that night. I went to see Gerard Kilnell. It looked like somebody poured the watercolors out in the sky, and the guy was smearing his hands off with his fingers. Water paint in the sky. All right, we need to report. What are we going to report? There's still some chat, but yeah, they keep popping in. I'm glad y'all were taking care of me. I've been busy tonight. I appreciate that. You mods are doing your job tonight. I appreciate y'all taking care of that. I really do. We don't. That's the last. We don't need that kind of mess on this channel. We don't want that around. Kathy, it's not a yeah, it's a bot, not a person. Yeah. Jesse Mills, how you doing, Jesse? You're kind of late tonight. Oh, Kathy Pittman was timed that one. Why did Kathy get timed out over Green Atlanta? All right, Granny. What was Kathy Pittman saying that got her timed out? I haven't known her to be a problem. All right, somebody tell me why you timed out Kathy. I don't think Kathy's statements were that far line. I'm able to look at them now. Granny, okay, she said the word CRAP. Okay, that's not so pretty, but that's not all that bad. She was basically hitting and complaining about the bots. Granny, I think we were a little bit overboard on that one. Because we are people making second people that are bots. Kathy's not a bot. Yeah, okay. Kathy Pittman's not a bot, guys. She's just a regular person. She was commenting about them. Yeah. Sorry about that, Kathy. Hope you're still with us. Brandon, go a little easier on your hammer there, girl. Your wrench. You're conking a couple people on the head that don't need it. Well, folks, it must be genteel with each other. Exactly, Arnold. All right, I'm going to end this, stop this share. All righty, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm going to share something with you guys before we go into our prayer session. I'm going to share an old Gaelic blessing. You know how I always like to end our videos telling everybody as light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. Shine your love light to the world. I found something similar to that. It says, may those who love us, and those that don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles, so we'll know them by their limping. Oops. Kind of funny. We don't wish ill upon anyone. I just thought I'd share it with you because it was kind of funny. Not that we should be wishing things that way. Hey, is Amanda here? Hey, Amanda, how you doing? Man, we just went to Australia on our, let's see, this was going around. We went to Australia looking at temperatures. You're in your spring. How is it there down under, Amanda? How you doing? You like that, huh, Katie? Who wrote that? Just my knowledge of USA won't go down, gentlemen. Yeah. Well, some of us will like to make things a little more gentle. All right, guys, we're wrapping up here. We've been on for an hour and a half, a little better than an hour and a half. I've seen Irish Ali Pimpin. What is that? Madam, I don't get it. I've seen Irish Ali Pimpin. I don't know what that means. Drops, we should only wish love and peace upon the world and humanity. Amen. Amanda, it's a stupid world. I need a spaceship. There you go. I'm trying to build them, Amanda. There you go. I love a boat would work. There you go. You got a boat, you need to come over here, at least to visit, right? I would make it our Aussie waters. I would make it our, I wouldn't make it out of our Aussie waters. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misread that. Kathy, yes, Arnold, no problem, guys. I didn't know. Yeah, we watch our language here. We try not to go overboard, guys. But yeah, that one, a lot of people don't consider that too wordy yet. Hello, Greg and everyone. I'm right at the end again. Hey, Colorado Jen. Yeah, we're wrapping up here. We're wrapping up. Just be free the way God created you. Do not fear. There you go. There you go. You're okay, Kathy. Didn't do anything. Yeah, that's true. So I don't know what to do. Embrace the Chinese when they get here. They're probably not going to embrace you. They don't embrace the Uyghurs, do they? They don't embrace the Tibetans. So I just say, you just hope they don't get there. All right. Very protective. Yeah, she is very protective indeed. All right. So, guys, she's got a granddaughter we need to pray for. We need to pray for Kaylee. Yeah. We need to pray for Randy Bly of the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. Sounds like a pirate's name, not Randy Bly. Good name for a pirate. But yeah, he's a good guy. He and Susan. You know, Susan made me this the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. This is a blue bottle. Santa, Rocket Santa, on the way to the moon, holding baby Jesus and with a elf that's a space alien. It's a Christmas bottle. Some people kind of figured I had something to do with Santa a long time ago. Yeah, I've had that thing about 3 years. And we actually did a video where I met them up here. And she gave it to me, and then so I've been down their place. They're a great family. So let's say our prayers for them. Sally prayers. Okay, we're getting prayer requests, guys. Yeah, we'll definitely be praying for Kaylee. We're getting prayer requests. Pray for America too, says Anton. You got that. That's a good thing. Amanda says, oh, it's a strange future outlook, I must say. All right. Mustang Sally. Oh, we're going to pray for Mustang Sally. Okay. What did Mustang say? Mustang Sally gave us a super chat tonight. A really good, nice one, too. Probably the biggest one of the night. So let's see. Southern Hemisphere is weird, and let me say weird at the moment. Okay. You can say weird, Amanda. Yeah, it's actually, you're pretty warm for spring, from what I'm saying. It didn't get that cold this winter, did it? Southern tip of Ada, we can't forget that either. Okay, Amanda. Prayers for us all. Yeah, we need to pray for world peace, guys. Should we pray for Putin? They said pray for the enemy. Yeah. Gorgeous Awesome. I hadn't heard from Gorgeous Awesome. Has anybody seen Gorgeous Awesome in a while? You know, I got some great gifts from Gorgeous Awesome, including this healing one. A big one. They've got an Etsy store. Check them out, guys. Go there and shop with them and tell them that Green Greg sent you. Russia and Chechnya, aka Bora, are doing the right thing. We need to pray for everybody, guys. Say a little prayer for my wife, stage 3 breast cancer. Okay, Jared, text her. Definitely say a prayer for her, everyone. Landowners and rightful owners for centuries must clear their land. And what do you mean by clear, Amanda? I haven't missed her. Oh, Randy, what's going on? Haven't what? Bread and butter. We need to pray for world peace. We need to pray for Drops. North Shore just got out of the hospital from a heart attack and stroke. Yeah, he did a live session tonight, and he had all his hair shaved off. Remember, he used to have a beard and long hair, all shaved off. But he did do a live session tonight, and they had spaghetti dinner. GA made an appearance on Diamond's channel, Boutique, 12 days ago. Now, he's GA, Arnold. Help me out. Oh, Gorgeous Awesome. Oh, yeah. You mentioned that. You reap the rewards if line is done. The line is done. Can't be dirty game no more. Yeah, we don't need any dirty games, that's for sure. Pray for us. I got that. Chill out. All right, JoJo. Let's see. Oh no, is Swan still living in the same place? Like that is. We all reap rewards in a peaceful life of taking and destroying others. Now that's bad. These are set your minds as to why you fall. New Day says, oh my God, that was a great line North Shore had today. Zip, no more hair. Yeah, well, he was looking pretty good considering what he just went through. He had some life in him today. But guys, yeah, we'll definitely pray for North Shore because he just went through a rough time. He could have sometimes that stuff comes back at you. So pray for his health. Pray for Kaylee, guys, and we need to pray for world peace. We need to pray for people on both sides of these conflicts. Soldiers don't really want, either side really don't want to be in a war. I mean, people will fight for the land, naturally. But, man, have been assessed cause. Germany wants out of EU, any involvement with EU and NATO. Yeah, well, they're still one of the, yeah, they were happy to be trading gas with Russia. They're still one of the primary players in NATO. In the EU. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of politics going on, a lot of behind the scenes, underhanded stuff, the whole nature of what went on that gas pipeline explosion is very dubious. And everybody's trying to blame it on Russia. But I think that's not the case. In fact, I think that our side probably had more to do with that than most would like to admit. Of course, that's been discussed, and I've talked about that. I got to be careful what I say on here, but we've talked about that. Shall we pray for Kim Jong-un? Yeah, let's pray you don't do anything stupid. Let's pray you don't launch on us. They ain't trading gas anymore, no, don't look like it. Is this still LIVR? We're still live. How you doing, Care? We're still live, but we're about to go. We're about to go into a little prayer session here. I don't see any other real prayer request. Here, where are you located? Channel on it. Talking about me? I'm in Alabama. So you new to the channel here, Care? What are you interested in? Have you been watching? I cover urban gardening and home, a little bit of homestead, but mostly prepping. Mostly prepping. It's become a prepping channel. Started out to be an urban gardening channel, became a urban gardening, urban homestead, became a prepping channel. But I do videos on worms. I still do that. I still do videos on worms. God's grace is upon all of us. And I didn't even have to ask. There you go. It was a gift from God. You got that right. Guys, I always say there's good and bad and anywhere, but don't ever forget there's good people in every village, hamlet, town, county, shire of every race, color, and religion around the world. Now, sometimes people in a given country get a little bit, when they only get one message, their views can be skewed, their worldview could be falsely altered. But, and that does lead to a lot of consternation between peoples. But, there's the powers that be that stir us all up against each other for the most part, because that's how they control the world. They play everybody against each other. And they'll get on your side and say, well, those are the bad guys. If you'll just support me, I'll help protect you against those bad guys. That's what Hitler did that. He did it with the Jews. Jesse Jackson did that, even though he had a rainbow coalition, he sure was out there extorting companies and so forth. So too many politicians play that game. It's a very dangerous game. Very, very dangerous. We blame the other side of being subhuman. That's how all wars are justified to any people, because humans don't want to attack other humans. So the propagandists come out and they demote the other people in the eyes of the domestic population and say they're not humans or blah, 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 blah. The Japanese did that in World War II about Americans, but Americans also did that about Japanese. Very racist, very unfortunate, and very not true. I do pray for my enemies to fall and hit their stubborn heads on a rock. Well, we're told to pray for the enemies. We're not exactly told how to pray for the enemies, so I'm not going there. Just remember, judge not that you not be judged. Big hugs, Greg. Well, thank you, Connie. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, guys. All right. New to you, I watched Diamond. Okay, Kiara. Good to see that. Yeah, I've been on Diamond's channel a couple times, but it's been a while. Yeah, Diamond's interviewed me, but it has been a while. Diamond's bought worms from me a couple times and posted videos on open them. And one time he opened it, and another time he had Top Knot open them. And I've got both of those videos posted on greengregs.com. So if you want worms, go to greengregs.com, and there you can find those videos too. And a lot of other videos about raising worms. Or whatever the amount of love I have for all of you is nothing compared to what God's love is. Well, that's true. Us humans are not even capable of going that far. Some Americans still use the word, oh, yeah. That's true, Anton. All right, guys. Good people everywhere. We shouldn't be selling people short. So it's not what we have. My wife is a mod for Diamond. Okay, that's cool. Drops. It's cool. That's cool. Well, tell her to tell Diamond I said hi. Arizona for a bit. Okay. But well, how come Arizona native didn't come up when you typed that? That's odd. AZ, are you still here live? There you go. Thank you, Katie, for sharing that. You can go to greenregs.com and you can see that. Anton, I love Japanese women. Well, they're pretty. Say that. Beautiful people all over the world too, guys. All right, guys, let's do our prayer session. Let's do our prayer session. You know, it's a shame that we actually nuked Japan in many ways. I don't know, guys. It's just a lot of questions about that whole war and how it was conducted and the things done. Wars are horrible. All wars are bad. There's no good war. I mean, you got to defend yourself. Holy smoke, guys. A lot of questions about that. Kathy, Green Greg, it's always good to pray the scripture, particularly the Psalms. I admit I prayed for a few to slip on a banana peel. Oops. All right, guys. Let's go into our prayer session here. And just remember, we're going to pray for some people in our world and for peace. Pray for love. How about that? Let's pray for love and understanding. Maybe that more people could put on their rose-colored glasses and appreciate what other people are like, what they think like. On my session, when I wore these very glasses, I did a video called Rose-Colored Glasses. Talked about worldviews. A lesson taught to me by a black drill instructor at a primary leadership course at Fort Richardson, Alaska. The smartest man I ever encountered. Taught me a great lesson about the world, about people. Never forget it. His name was Sergeant Spivey. All right, guys. I'm also a mod for Diamond. Yeah, okay, very good. Very good. Tell Diamond I said hi. And North Shore, good. Is North Shore in here? There he is. Hey, North Shore. Good to see you. I was talking about you earlier. Evening, Mr. Greg and all. Just stopped by to say hello. Well, hello to you, North Shore. You got a cool haircut. You have to wear a knit cap here in the wintertime up there. But I was glad to see you up and about. I was glad to see you looking good and having energy and good spirits. That was the best thing I saw on your channel. See Monkey Works, Bigfoot. Monkey Works is talking about Bigfoot. Okay, take care. You know, we go Bigfoot hunting sometimes on this channel. I go out in the back and we're looking. I bring some jack links with me. We're looking for Bigfoot and listen to frogs sing. There's too many mosquitoes to do it right now. The mosquitoes about to die down. We might go back, but don't be any frogs out there. Let's see, October 7th, start of the war on terror too. Yeah, and now he's got that kind of language going, but we don't know what it means. There's a lot of propaganda out there. Yep, I got a big haircut. Yeah, you did. North Shore had hair and a long beard, and it's all gone. So, well, you don't have to worry about washing your hair for a couple of weeks, right? Just wipe your head off. They go real fast. Checking my foot size. Uh-oh, drops. Good to see you here, North Shore. It's really good to see you. That was good. I saw you as live. So I gotta go check him out. See how he's doing. A mosquito died a month ago. Yeah, I wished I could send mine up there and let them freeze. We still got a few around here. It's getting less bad though. Every time I hear war on terror, I think of Bush's war. Yeah, and what he said wasn't true in so many ways. All right, guys, let's do that prayer session. Magnetic reversal. Okay, that's good to know, Kathy. Greg, Greg is next in line for a buzz. It's gonna be a while, I hope. Although, listen, guys, the last time I had long hair, that's what I did. I zip, 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 and it was gone. I got a crew cut. I didn't shave my head. Hey, North Shore shaved his head. I didn't shave it, but it looked almost shaved. It was shorn. Definitely was shorn. I zip, zip, zip. It was a crew cut. We need a war on politics. There you go. We need to get rid of them politicians. Politics means many ticks, right? Bloodsuckers. Lots of ticks. That's what politics means. Lots of bloodsuckers. That's how you translate that. Q&A news. All right. Rumble in Humboldt says war on terror. Just listen to how it sounds. Yeah. It's that's oxymoronic, right? War on terror. War is terror. So how can you have a war on terror when war is terror? Very oxymoronic term. All right, guys, let's do our little prayer session here. Let's do it now. Let's say our prayers because we've kicked this around for a bit. So we'll do it now. Everybody pray. I'm not a religious channel. I'm going to tell you how to pray. Everybody pray according to your own method. And if you don't believe any of this and are not inclined to pray, come on, the silence of meditation is always a good thing. Hey, Mustang Sally, I want to make sure you saw my post. So everything except what fits in your truck, you're headed to Colorado on your own. Wow. Let's pray, say a prayer for Mustang Sally. Mustang, you're going up from like around Auburn, right? And you're headed to Colorado. What's got you? Hey, well, stop by and see me on your way. What got you running to Colorado? You have to tell us that. I'll come back and check them in. We're going to do a prayer session. I might come back and see what you got to say about that. That's in the old as dirt. Greg, got to say night before I fall asleep here. Well, don't fall asleep there. Take care. Glad to see you here, old as dirt. Glad you were here tonight. Glad you were here tonight. You're also with Oppenheimer, right, old as dirt? I believe you've been there for a long time, too. I laughed when they shaved mine. Oh, hey, real quick. When I went in basic training, I also had long hair then. Now, when I was in high school, I did not grow long hair. I grew long hair after I was 19 when I went in basic training. My hair was done on my shoulders. It's not quite as long as it is now. But all the guys had long hair back in the late 70s. You go into basic training, that's what they did. They would shave your head. They'd start on one side and go all the way up. And it's always funniest when they got right up here to the top, when half of your head was a crew cut and the other half was long. And all these other guys now, they were crying. Oh my God, they were crying. And I was laughing, and those barbers, they'd be laughing, just laughing, just cutting that stuff off and watching all these guys cry. And I was laughing too. I thought it was funny, especially when it's like halfway. I thought that just looked righteously funny. I thought that was hilarious. And I was laughing to myself how funny it looked. I was laughing at all these other guys crying. Like, you guys forget it. That's funny. All right. So what's Mustang saying? I'm in Utah. You could always reach out. That's right, Granny. Granny's in Utah. Coming from Savannah. Okay. Wow. You could stop by. Give me a holler. Plan on it. Okay. You got my number, don't you? Now, I'm not usually logged into. I've usually got Lee's network cut off because it makes my phone go bum, 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 bum constantly. Send me an email, greg@greengregs.com. Find it on my website, greengregs.com. You can find my email there. So shoot me an email. There, my home phone number's there too. Don't everybody be calling it though. Holy smoke, guys. I'll be buzzing constantly. Randy, yeah, we're just prayer time, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Okay, very good. Let's do it now. All right. Amen. It falls out faster if you look at it. Grows out faster if you look at it. Falls out faster if you look at it. Yeah, Yeah, when you come by or ask me, I'll tell you how to get hold of Granny Nana. Very good. Very. Hey, Pyramid 7, how you doing? Yo to you. Yeah, we're just wrapping up here. People join us kind of like, good to see you, Pyramid. Good to see you. Very good. Q&A. Amen. Watching Red Dawn. Yeah, that's a good thing to be watching now. Let's hope we're not watching it from our window in real life. Holy smoke, guys. 2 more weeks. What's going to happen in 2 weeks, Faz? What do you expect, Fazoli? 2 weeks till what? He says it grows faster if you look at it. Okay, that was his last one. Talking about for North Shore's hair to grow out. In 2 weeks, North Shore will look like me again. It falls out quicker if you shave it. Oh, okay. Definitely get rid of it, at least for a bit, right? Wow. Anywho, get my address from Maya and Benoit. Okay, drops. Send my morning. Spent my morning with BP, Greg, and it was some type of electronic. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Electronic device. Could have been a briefcase EMP device or something to spy with. Thank you. I'll be stopping in Alabama to see the farm for sure. Have a great night, everyone. Okay, Mustang, good to see you here. Good to see you. Savannah, going to Colorado. All right, guys. Okay, we forgot Cowboy Roy. Okay, guys, we can always send another prayer before we go to bed. She's still in custody of Border Control. Yeah, Kay was sharing an interesting story with me here last night, folks. Very interesting story. Very interesting border story. A lot of crazy stuff going on the border, folks. A lot of crazy stuff. They're trying to slip stuff in on us. That's why we don't need open borders. They are trying to slip stuff in. God knows what's coming in this country, guys. What or who? I'm getting a ticket to Mars 2 weeks. Total recall. There you go. Second, I didn't see the second one there, Jason. Saw the first one. Yeah, sequels sometimes just aren't what they're cracked up to be. Not worth the bother. All the Star Wars, the second one turned out, I thought that was the best one. I thought that was the best one of the whole thing. It was what, episode 7, technically, or something like that. Or no. It was considered episode 4, wasn't it? 5. I don't know. One where Luke told, or Darth Vader told Luke he was his son. Yeah, there's a lot of drama in that one. It was like, whoa. Very bad. Hombres coming in. Yeah, Anton. Amen to that. Amen to that. So, Anton, it's good to see you here. Check out your channel here real quick. Anton, you don't have any content. I thought you might have something up on your channel. Sometimes I like to check folks if they got anything on their channel. Anyway, well, we've gone long. We've said our prayers. We've been on the air here about 2 hours now almost. And our glass is about emptied again. I didn't mean to be on here so long. I still got some things to do here tonight, guys. I'm bored, says Ace Lee. You bored? Yeah, I know exactly the last day in this world I was bored. I can tell you exactly the last day I was bored. The next day, first day I was never bored again, was my 16th birthday, because that day I got my driver's license. Never been bored a day since. Ace Leo, what are you frowning about, Ace? What's the frown over? Bad hombres coming in with it. Anton was telling us about. Good night, Matterman. Thank you for joining us. Sergeant Slide Dog, what's up, brother Greg? Greetings to you all. Yeah, we're about to go here. I just discovered Damnation Alley, the movie about nukes destroying everything. Guys, nukes are no joke. They're awful. War is awful. War is horrible. It's terrible. It's a nightmare. Nuclear war is way beyond. It's awful, guys. It's beyond. It's absolutely horrible. Beyond speak. Beyond horrible. So, Kathy. All right. Good night, Kathy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. All right, Billy gives 120, huh? Who, Billy? Or 210 on the thumbs up. Thank you for the 210 on the thumbs up. All right, folks, we're going along. We're down to 127 in the room. I think it's time to go. Jason just watched that also. All right, guys. Well, let's hope life don't mimic that fiction. Something like, but it's kind of like we're living in a science fiction world, guys. It really is. I don't know if it's Mad Max or or Soylent Green. Imagine that blow up. It might be 2001: A Space Odyssey here in a few years. Give us the 2031. We might be able to do what they were showing in 2021, the movie, right? A little behind on that. Computers are getting there though, but HAL 9000. Jesse, I guess people trying to sneak in the northern border. Yep. Celtic Warrior, Rumble and Humble. Okay, there. Glad y'all talking to each other. Thank you, Rumble and Celtic Warrior. And everyone else. Doesn't the Bible vaguely reference nuclear war? Well, the Bible talks about things that sound like nuclear war, especially people's faces been melted, their tongue in their mouth's been melted, their eyeballs burning. Yeah, sounds like nuclear war. Doesn't sound like things that people at that time could fathom. That's what's interesting about some of the prophecies. 200 million men crossing the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, coming from the direction of where? China? Who else could support a 200 million man army? Anyway, yeah, it's interesting times, guys. Interesting times. I think those steeds of the four horsemen have been mounted. They're riding on the southern border where you may scout troop used to go, where you scout troop used to go hiking and camping. You can't go due to cartel activity. Well, no one has enough firepower. They definitely have it. Those cartels are armed like an army. Demon wars. Yep, we're in a spiritual situation, guys. The year Sergeant Green represented was, yes, 2022. Yeah, see, I was just thinking about this a couple of days ago. I said, wow, we're living in a science fiction movie. I mean, holy smoke, guys. I was just thinking to myself, Mad Max and on one hand and 2021, 2001 on the other hand. It's just like, wow, we're living in a science fiction world. We got Elon want to go out there, AI gearing up. We got these things, weird stuff going on in that department. And then we got this whole world about to go up in flames if we're not careful. It's like, wow, it's like several of the worst science fiction movies playing all at once. And I was thinking about these science fiction movies, and suddenly I got an ad popped up on my phone. The ad, I don't know if I'll find this thing, but I still have it saved here. Ding, ding, ding. Let me get a second. No, I don't have it up. The ad was for Soylent. Who in a right mind would have at this period in time come up with a drink? It's supposed to be complete food, a complete meal and a drink, and call it Soylent, like Soylent Green. Oh yeah, they have various colors of the Soylent too. Why, guys? Bad Stephen King movie. Yeah, I think that's just it. A bad Stephen King movie. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, Bad Stephen King movie. Grew up and watched Dr. Strangelove when it came out. Henry Kissinger in a wheelchair. Oh, is that Henry Kissinger? There you go. Capacitor for the pyramid. It could be a capacitor. Could well be. Yeah, Yeah, and what's the name? The subtitle for Dr. Strangelove? How I Come to Love the Bomb. How I Come to Love the Bomb. I'm gonna do a talk Saturday for a local preppers club, and I think I'm gonna name it "Normalizing Nuclear War." It's weird, right? We seem to be getting a little too used to the concept. We're getting kind of where it's not ringing our bells, and yet I think it's dangerous. The idea of nuclear war should be alarming. We're treating it like it's nothing, like it's a Sunday school picnic or just something rather casual. Oh yeah, well, we might get a nuclear war with Russia, blah blah blah. Okay, well, okay, whatever. We'll keep pushing them. We'll keep pushing this button and that button. So what? Nothing's going to happen. Or if it does, it'll be minor, blah blah blah. How do we know? That's a big risk to take. The stand. What was the stand about? Jimmy Carter is 98. He is. Oldest president probably ever. That guy says North Shore, thank you for coming. Join us at 3:00 in the morning, North Shore's time. After all he's been with, he set up and came in here and joined us after he did his own live session tonight. North Shore, thank you very much for being here. And God bless you. And I hope you continue to recover. You just got out of the hospital. You're looking pretty darn good today for being just out of the hospital, but I guess you had a good dinner tonight. That'll cheer a man up. Gator, I was 6th grade in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Get under your desk, duck and cover. I was 2 years old. 2 years old. When real life looks like the Bible and Stephen King. Stand, now you know we're in abnormal times. There you go. Now, what was the stand? I have to look that up. The son of the former U.S. President Trump Jr. reacted to Joe's word and made a list of things Biden himself should not mess with. Putin, Kim Chen-in, and such of the exit stairs. Okay. Oh, I saw a video where somebody would show Putin would throw his phone up, and every time he was looking at the window of the plane, every time he throws his phone in the air, they cut to a video of Biden stumbling. Stan, people die from a bug, and then people try to fight the devil. Well, all right, yeah, it may be it. That may be the times we're in. Don't go to Las Vegas after it hits the fan. Don't go to any city. Las Vegas, yeah, they don't have any natural resources to support them there. It's going to be sad. Same way with the Phoenix guys or LA. Holy smoke. LA, Phoenix, you don't want to be in those places. Las Vegas, no. Sounds dark, Gator. Sounds dark. Those dark ones give me the heebie-jeebies. Holy smoke, guys. Okay, I think it's time we call it a night, folks. I think it's time we call it a night. It's 2:03 a.m. my time on Thursday morning. And I really want to thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank all the super chats. All you super chatters, thank y'all a bunch. Mods, you've really been busy tonight. Those chat bots kept you on your toes. I want to thank each and every one of you, all of you. Thank you for what you've done tonight, especially keeping those guys reined in. I don't think everybody was just here and everybody watched. Everybody give me a thumbs up, especially. We need all the thumbs up we can get here, guys. So I appreciate that. If you're not giving me a thumbs up, please throw one in. The dark ones are too close to reality. Ew, that's scary, yeah. There's a lot of darkness in this world, guys, a lot of darkness. And some of you have actually looked under the table and seen it. I know you have, Katie. All these movies are the petition of the devil, like what he happened to Job. Oh yeah, the devil really went to God, and with Job, and yeah, Told him, well, this guy will fold. This guy's not really supporting you. He'll fold. If you tempt him, he'll fold. But he didn't. And he went through a lot of stuff, right? Over a million U.S. poll workers are PLL or key PLL data was discovered on a server in China. Wow. And nothing surprises me now. Nothing, guys. David Potter says we will when we get a president. Hope we get a real president, a good one. I'm gonna hold up. No way. Yeah, spooky feeling. Yeah. The devil is a lie. There you go, Anton. He's called the great deceiver for a reason. A lot of people follow him. They follow him out of deception. He makes them think they're going to get a lot more than they're going to get. He's filled them, and they follow him. I read it years ago. Yeah, it was spooky. Oh, okay. All right, folks. Like I said, thank you all. I think we need to go. I really do. It's like y'all chat all night, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know, even after I stop the video, y'all can chat for a little bit before the channel or before YouTube shuts you down. But it's time to go. I got some things I still got to do. It's 2:06 in the morning. I'm not ready to go to bed. I got some things I got to accomplish. So I want to say thank y'all again. Thank you everybody for being here. Mods, super chatters, thumbs uppers, and all you watchers, thumbs uppers. It's not thumpers. All right, folks. Well, that I'm going to say thank you and